Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another GAVRA Racing Ferrari 33 SP race. And I am Jukebox. I am your commentator for the evening, and I'm going to do my best to keep y'all entertained for this amazing race. We've got some great drivers lined up tonight on an amazing track. I got to drive this track last week in the GT3s, and it is absolutely fantastic. It is the Brno track, and like I said, it's a great track. A lot of wide sweeping turns and a few nice little sharp turns that you really got to get on the brakes and keep the car balanced really good for. So it is a lot of fun to drive. I expect we're going to see some, yep, there we go right there, Aguilator getting up into, it's going to hit the 160s. I believe I saw a 161, so the cars are going to be extremely fast on this track. But back to the topic at hand. As always, I am scatterbrained. We are at the Brno track here in the Czech Republic. As always, in GAVRA Racing, we race today. So it is May 21st. That, as you can see, I got the date just a little bit wrong there, apparently. So y'all ignore the date on this screen. It is 21/5/2020, not 20/06/2020. Apparently I updated my graphics after midnight and didn't take that calculation into hand. But anyway, I'm just babbling on. Brno is 5.39 kilometers long, or 3.3 miles, 15 turns. The drivers get a 10-minute practice, 10-minute qualifying, and an approximately 80-minute race. It is going to be a total of 51 laps. And if y'all didn't notice to start with, I did have a slight delay. For some reason, the notification on the YouTube did not go out immediately, so that had me a little concerned. So I left y'all on the intro screen just a little longer than anticipated. And to refresh everyone's memory from last week's race at Mugello GP, which is also a very great track, a lot of really long, fast turns in it. We had Faster in first, ESR Chef came in second, Flip Flip was third, and y'all nominated Snaker as your driver of the day. So we'll have to keep an eye on these four drivers to see how much of a repeat we get this week. I believe, well, all the drivers in this is the top tier of GAVRA Racing, so all the drivers are just unbelievably fast. Alright, so we have 3 minutes left in qualifying because, like I said, I did mess up there at the beginning. We had a little bit of a... I just wanted to make sure that the broadcast was actually live. And gonna real quick get these driver points out of the way because we're right down to getting close to the end of their qualifying here. Alright, so we have Alochamps with 255 points. Faster with 226. Flip Flip with 172. ESR Chef with 153. Agulator with 142. Hodgker with 136. Dr. Fiend with 117. Red 15 with 110. K-Morse, a very popular driver here at GAVRA Racing, with 97. Interceptor with 91. Snaker with 73. ID4, which is our race host, so big shout out to our host for the evening, has 60 points. Manic UK has 51. And I believe Mike HLB rounds out the bottom with 47. Yeah, look at there, I was actually correct. So look at that. Yeah, and y'all give me 1 second, we'll flip through some of the drivers, and I'm gonna make sure that our link did go up on the GAVRA Racing Discord channel, to which there is a link below if you want to join up, and there's also the links below to go to the GAVRA Racing website, which GAVRA is always updating stuff on there and doing a great job, so y'all should definitely check that out. It's been adding a lot of new stuff, and we are completely community driven, so there is also a link to the Patreon if you do wish to help support what we do. Alright, so currently, and actually I could be wrong, I believe this is actually the end of practice and not qualifying. If you can't tell, my little bit of mix-up right there at the beginning, trying to make sure that the stream was actually live, really has me tripping over my feet today. So today I'm not, can't walk and chew bubble gum. Today I'm not able to walk because of 2 left feet. And as we can see, the drivers are warming up really good. They're trying to get some rubber down on the track, which will be really important for them to get some good grip during qualifying, and even more importantly, the race itself. But the field is not, we do not have that big of a spread. We only have a 4-second spread at the moment. And K-Morse is down at the bottom, but we know K-Morse has a lot of speed in him, along with Hodgker and Manic. So I believe in qualifying, my guess is going to be we will see drivers running about a 1:43.5. I put my foot in my mouth a lot last week making predictions, so this week I'm playing it safe, avoiding my foot getting in my mouth. So I'm going to go with a 1:43, and we'll see if the driver surprises, though I do expect they will. And since the practice is over, we'll go ahead and, there we go. We'll go over our team standings. Nope. Sorry, y'all. That is the wrong image there. Give me 1 second, and I will have the right one up there. That is actually the team points. And y'all stick around after the broadcast. I will have all of the standings up for all of the leagues. So you can have a look at all of them. Sig. Also, our Discord god does an amazing job of keeping up with all this stuff. So there we go. There's the right one. Darren Johnson, how you doing, man? It's great to see you in the chat. And let's see here. We have Tuned Beetle is sitting still in first with 427 points. That is Flip Flip and Alochamps. Followed by Car Aculio. Car Aculio has been a team name here in GAVRA Racing. Well, since before I joined GAVRA Racing, so they are very well, it is a very well established team within GAVRA Racing. That is Agulator and Faster for 368 points, followed by the Disconnection Kings. That is definitely my favorite team name at the moment. which is Red 15, and ESR Chef with 263 points. Speed of Light is in 4th, which is Interceptor and Dr. Fiend. Also a really good team name. 208 points. 5th is the ever so popular LGR Motorsport drivers. Also a very well established team and drivers here in GAVRA Racing, which is, of course, as always, Hodger LGR and ID4 LGR. And I believe we also have a couple other of the LGR guys in the Discord league, so they're all really fast. If you come across the LGR guys, just you're in for a fight. They've got 196 points. In 6th is Super Racing Elite, which is Snaker and K-Morse, 2 very popular drivers here in GAVRA Racing. Also, they've been here for a very long time, 170 points. Followed by M&M Racing, which is, of course, Mike yep, see there, 2 left feet. Mike HLB and Manic UK. They have both been here for a while. I believe, actually, Manic joined in with me in the Clio series, I believe. I could be wrong. About 3 seasons ago. So, none of the drivers in this series are relatively new to GAVRA Racing. This is the top tier of the Project Cars 2 League. All the drivers have been here for a long time. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. M&M Racing has 98 points. And we have cars back on the track. And I'm running my mouth and depriving y'all of the action that y'all came here to see. Thank you very much, Darren Johnson. How you doing, Woody? Good to see you in the chat, man. And y'all definitely make sure you check out the other races going on. I believe there are... Yeah, I'm a really bad commentator and not always great at my job, but there are 2 other races going on at the moment that have some pretty good commentators. I mean, don't leave me, but you should also check them out as well. Some good races. I believe it is some F1 series and maybe a Project Cars 2 Academy. Like I said, I'm not always the best commentator and the best at keeping up with all of it. And that is what I have to work on during the off-season. But anyway, the action on hand. We are currently on ID4. He has yet to set a time. This is a long track. All the drivers will it'll take them a minute to get around the track for their warm-up lap and then to be able to set a relative time, which of course they're going to have a really hard time heating their tires up. The weather in the top right-hand corner is, of course, correct. The track is 83 degrees Fahrenheit or 28 degrees Celsius with an air temperature of 62 degrees Fahrenheit or 16 degrees Celsius. So the track is warm-ish. The air is quite, it's right on the edge. It's a little bit chilly. So anybody out here watching is most likely going to be wearing a long-sleeve shirt or a light jacket. So it's going to be a little hard for these drivers to get a little heat in their tires. The weather is going to progress, as always in GAVRA Racing. They have 1 random slot, and the set slot was medium cloud, and they were informed of the random slot about 5 minutes before the race, and I have to say all of the drivers in the Discord chat were very pleased that tonight it will go on to some beautiful clear skies here at Brno. And y'all give me 1 second, I'll flip through some of the drivers and I will also catch up with the guys in the chat. Okay, it's Woody. Woody says that it is the freshman F1, so okay, so I was right. I couldn't remember exactly which F1 race it was, but I knew it was one of them. Oh, Woody says shorts and t-shirt for him. I believe Woody is a Dutch fellow, so it's always quite cool there. So yeah, he's probably much more adjusted to the temperature than I am. I'm here in the southern United States, and it never gets cold anymore. We now have 70-degree Christmases, so it's always hot. Where I live, basically, we live in a giant bowl of split pea soup. It is hot and nasty. It's terrible. Anyway, we do have drivers. All right, we've got drivers putting in some time. So let's get over there and we'll check them out. Ooh, Red has put himself in the lead with a 144.9. I fear I may have to put my foot in my mouth. I did predict we'd see drivers in the 143.5. Those drivers are just now getting their tires warmed up, only halfway through qualifying. So, yeah, come on, drivers, don't do that to me. It's going to be really hard for me to keep commentating if somebody doesn't reach that 143.5 with my foot in my mouth. Dr. Fiends currently has the second fastest time of a 146.2, followed by Flip Flip, also a 146.2. This field always is very, very close and fighting for tenths of seconds on the race. It's one of the things that makes this series very exciting. The Agulator also 146. He's got a 0.4. Let's see here. Oh, Faster set himself on up a little bit faster, of course, with 145. Where is my man, ESR Chef? ESR Chef is a very popular driver as well. I don't know why I keep saying that. These are our top drivers right here, excluding just a few of our aliens that are getting ready for the new iRacing series. If y'all happen to catch the banner at the beginning, if you're interested in the iRacing, definitely join up. And believe me, our man Sig will be all over you on getting you a role assigned for the iRacing and getting you signed up for that. He's got working on a really great lineup for that. I'm going to be really excited to see that next season. Oh no, Woody, it's never a commentator-free curse. Okay, and Darren Johnson says that it is in fact the Project Cars 2 Academy, and they are racing at Donington. See, this is all stuff I'm supposed to know. Yeah, I don't have an excuse. ID4 currently setting a 146. Hodgker currently setting a 146. Manic UK also, he's right there at it. He's got a 147.2. That's close enough for me. I'm going to call that a 146. K-Moore's also just getting his tires good and warm. 147.4. Right there on top of the 146s as well. And yes, I am still looking for one of these drivers to set that magic 143.5. We have 2 minutes left in qualifying. I'm starting to get a little worried here, I'm not going to lie. We're going to stick with... Oh, wait a minute. Faster currently with the fastest lap. He's got a 144.8. So yeah, like I said, the drivers are really struggling to get some heat built up in their tires so they can really take advantage of the grip. Faster making use of every inch of the track right there, and I have to say, from the GT3, exit on that turn when you get on that curb is very, very difficult to keep your car under control. So I'm amazed at the fact that he was able to take as much curb as he did and keep control of his car, which is just a display of how great the drivers here in the Ferrari 33 SP League at GAVRA Racing are. And yeah, I'm going to keep saying this is, of course, the top tier racing here at GAVRA Racing, along with the GT3s as well. But yeah, these are usually the fastest ones right here. Come on, faster, don't let me down. I know you've got a 143.5 in you. I think most of the drivers do have a 144 flat in them. I just really want to see that one magic driver not make me have to eat my sock. Red 15 still in second. We're down to the last minute of qualifying. Of course, the computer will give them just a little bit longer for the drivers that are about halfway through a lap, so we're really looking at about 1 minute 45 seconds left. Oh, faster. He's trying to live up to his name. He's trying not to disappoint me here with the 144.3. He just needs 8 tenths off of that. And as we can see, the field is definitely starting to stack up. Everyone right there with the 144s, down through first through third, fourth. and 5th are in the 145s. 6th, pretty much 6th all the way down are right there on top of each other. Not barely a second separating those. I believe that is actually 1 second and 1/1000th. Yeah, Woody, I race in the GT3s, which I have been doing horrible at. But there are some really good drivers in there. Last week, me and Joe Black actually had a lot of fun driving. Joe is incredibly tough to beat on track. Basically, the only way I was ever managed to get around him is if he made a mistake. It was a lot of fun. It was a great race, and the leaders also had a great race. Everybody, after the races tonight are done, y'all should go back and check out that race, because Cypher Knight and Dutch Muso do the commentating on it, and they are absolutely amazing. And make sure you check out yesterday's Janetta race as well with Cadwell and Diddix. They also do a great job. All of which have been commentating here at GAVRA Racing for... Diddix and Cypher Knight have been here before I was, so they've been here, I'm going to say, a minimum of close to 2.5 to 3 years now. And Cadwell's been with us for, I believe, a good 1.5 years. I believe he may be getting on to his 2-year mark there. Looks like we're getting down to the end of qualifying here, and I'm going to have to eat a sock later on. No driver meeting the 143s, but I have to admit, a 144.3 around this track is very impressive. There we go, Agulator still out on track. Nope, and that is it. That is the end of our qualifying. So we will start with Faster in first, followed by Red. Dr. Fiend in third. Fourth will be Flip Flip. Fifth is Agulator. Sixth is Allochamps. Seventh is ESR Chef. Eighth is ID4. Ninth is Hodgker. 10th is Manic UK. 11th is K-Morse. And we had one of our drivers, unfortunately, had a really bad wheel malfunction right before the race. I believe it was Mike HLB, unfortunately, which he is really great to watch out on track. So yeah, I'm sure everyone can feel his frustration at the moment. I know I do. Alright, so the drivers have just a minute to sink into the race and finish setting their pit strategies and everything. We will see some drivers take a 1 pit stop strategy, some will take a 2. I'm very curious to see exactly how hard this track is going to be on their tires. And this is always where I make my completely shameless advertisement for GAVRA Racing. Go to the website, check out all the work GAVRA's been doing to it. He's constantly updating it. It has all the stats for all the races, past track stats, driver stats, all the way back to the beginning of GAVRA Racing. Information on current leagues. There's information on future leagues, as like the Gold Crown Series that's going to be coming up soon for the F1, and the McGann Series for the Project Cars 2 that's going to start on Monday, which I will be covering. So make sure y'all tune in for that. It's going to be great. There are a couple of outstanding drivers that signed up for it, as well as a good handful of the commentators. So y'all definitely check that out. And now I'm going to grab me a quick drink of water so I can actually manage to get through the start of this race. Turn 1 is going to be absolutely hair-raising. Yep, and I managed to get that right in time as we are sinking in. Will we get the lights from this side? It does not, so I'm going to have to guess they are off. We've got all the lights. Faster making one hell of a start, followed by Red. Dr. Fiend in third. Flip Flip in fourth. Flip Flip's moved himself up into second. Dr. Fiend in third. Red has managed to hold on to fourth. Alichamps has moved up into fifth. Oh, Alichamps and wait a minute, they're changing places really fast here. I'm trying to keep up with everyone. Red, Alichamps, ID4, and ESR Chef keep really changing spots. Something happened to Dr. Fiend, and he went way on down to the back of the field there. Not sure exactly what happened to him. He was off to an amazing start. We have ID4 in fifth, ESR Chef in second. K-Morse is holding on to seventh. Agulator is in eighth. Dr. Fiend is now in ninth. Manic UK is in 10th, and Hodgker, something has happened to Hodgker, and he had a little bit of a trouble at the start too, but this is a very long race. Taking it easy on lap 1 and allowing each other a little space is absolutely key. And I lost track of my buttons. So let's go right down. Yeah, we can get down here. We can see Flip Flip is right on top of Faster, putting some pressure on him. But as we can see, we've got a lot of really tight action right here in the midfield with Red, ID4, ESR Chef, K-Morse, and Agulator. We are currently on ESR Chef because he is in the middle of the field. He is definitely the one trying to put pressure on 2 drivers in front of him and keep 2 drivers behind him fended off. Not very easy to do. He is definitely sitting in the hot seat, but he is Chef. He can take it. Yeah, I know that was a terrible, horrible, cheesy joke and line there, but that's me. If you know me at all, you know I'm full of the cheese. Oh, as we have ESR Chef and K-Morse, I believe, going side by side down the straight. I believe that is K-Morse has the inside line. Chef making a great defense around the outside, carrying the speed much better than K-Morse did through there. K-Morse now has Agulator right on top of him. Chef is managing to get a little bit of a run there. To take a little pressure off of him, allow him to catch up to ID4. And we still have Flip Flip right, just barely 1 second behind. Faster. Red right there within the 1 second mark of Alichamps. ESR Chef now within 1 second of ID4. K-Morse right on top of ESR Chef. Agulator is definitely in this battle as well, sitting in 8th. He is all over K-Morse, trying to apply a lot of pressure to him, but he has Dr. Fiend hot on his tail, putting the pressure on him. Makes it very difficult for the driver. Personally, it can be a very hard decision for me to decide whether I'm attacking the driver in front of me or trying to defend the driver behind me. And all the way down at the bottom of the field, we have Manic UK really has the pressure on Hodgker at the moment. I believe we're going to see these two work together just a little bit to catch up to the rest of everybody. And though we can see there, Hodgker just barely outside of the 1 second mark from Dr. Fiend. So they really don't have much to catch up. This 3-way battle of K-Morse, Agulator, Dr. Fiend in 7th, 8th, and 9th is definitely going to slow them up and allow Hodgker and Manic to catch up. Let's check in on Red real fast. We are 3 laps down into the lap 51. Still have some really good battles. These drivers are taking great advantage of the high-speed turns here. And speaking of which, let us go ahead. There we go. We'll get our map and speedo up. ID4 needs to catch up to Red just a little bit to put some pressure on him. Only a 2.5 second gap right there, but these cars we're seeing them hit over 160 miles an hour. So these gaps will grow and disappear very, very quickly. As Joe Black told me last week, he said, "Man, you were a 1.5 seconds behind me when I entered the turn, and when I exited, you were literally right on top of me." And we're going to see a lot of that here too. This track really does benefit a lot from lining up your opponent on the turns and getting a good corner exit to get a good run and make the pass down the straight. So let's go right back down here to K-Morse. K-Morse still has the pressure on ESR Chef. I don't know what's wrong with my camera guy there. He keeps wanting to move around a little bit. I may have to have a discussion with him after the race, tell him to make sure he holds that camera a little bit more steady. I know it's a you know, these cars are really loud. It is a huge shockwave when they come, you know, blowing by the camera guy, but you'd think he could hold the camera just a little bit more stable there when we go changing around. Dr. Fiend still has the pressure on Agulator. Drivers now getting into lap 4. And as always, we will have a vote for driver of the day at the end of the race, so y'all keep an eye on who you want to vote for. And I could be mistaken, but I believe next week is break week for these drivers, and then we will continue on to the last leg of the season, the last 4 races, which is where it will really heat up, as all the drivers will really be putting it all on the line. They'll stop being a little less hesitant and a little bit more risky, because it will be the end of the season and they'll really want those points. Our grid still staying nice and tight here. All the drivers are staying together. Dr. Fiend still has the pressure on Agulator. He is really caught up now. K-Morse is literally only 5/10 off of ESR Chef. We're gonna have to just check in on that real quick. Okay, that's right in front of this battle, so I can keep an eye on it in the foreground. Let's keep an eye on Dr. Fiend and Agulator here at the moment. And Faster is doing a great job of holding on to the lead at the moment. He's managing to keep a 2-second gap to Flip Flip in second. Flip Flip has a 3-second gap, very impressive, to Alochamp sitting in third. Alochamps has now a 2-second lead on Red, and Red has a 4-second gap to ID4, and that is how our top 5 in the grid is sitting. And once again, we will have several pit stops out of some of these guys. Some will go for a 1, some will go for a 2. And so later in this race, pit strategy, tire wear, and fuel management is going to have a huge impact on this race. So we will have to see how some of that plays out. Ooh, Faster now managing to get up to just over a 2-second lead over Flip Flip. So we know Flip Flip's going to be pushing really hard, though these are very experienced drivers. They know this race is not won in the first 10 laps. It's won in the last half of the lap with good, consistent, and of course fast laps, but they have to be good and consistent. And you have to manage your tire wear and your fuel, and all the drivers know that. So we're going to see them take it a little easy and just, you know, go for the passes when they present themselves, but all the drivers in it for the long haul. K-Morse really has the pressure on ESR Chef at the moment. And from the back, these cars look very, very similar. You would almost want to say these are teammates, but they are not. They are definitely rivals. And there with my camera guy again. I'm not sure, there's just that one camera guy. At least now I have that camera guy isolated, and I know which one I have to talk to at the end of the race. Dr. Fiend still right on top of Agulator. So we'll let these drivers put in just 1 or 2 more laps, and we'll go through and we will go all the way to the top of the grid and give a quick rundown, and we'll have us a little peek at how much fuel the drivers are running, and we'll have a little bit of an idea what kind of strategy they may or may not be going for. But as always, some of our drivers do watch the race, so I will not actually talk about their fuel load until I know all drivers have made their final pit stop, because I don't want to give anything away to the other drivers. Dr. Fiend really keeping up with Agulator. Agulator is doing a fantastic job of keeping him fended off at the moment. He has been in the hot seat now for about 6 solid laps. So we're just going to have to see how long these two can keep it up. It is very hard to stay right there with your opponent for lap after lap after lap. Kmore still right on top of ESR Chef. I think we're going to see these two also battle it out for a long time. But ESR Chef is definitely putting up a great defense. Kmore is very quick and not that easy to defend from. So they're not, I don't see them going for a pass just yet, so I'm going to go ahead and go back up to the top of the field here. And we're going to go through a quick rundown. Like I said, we can look at everyone's fuel load, but I'm not going to say it out loud just yet. But it will give us a little peek into what these drivers are thinking as far as pit strategy. So we are currently on faster. He is in first. Last lap was a 147.040. So yeah, we can see drivers are taking it a little easier during the race than qualifying, which shows they've really put down some blistering laps during qualifying. But also shows how they know the importance of good, solid, consistent laps throughout these 51 laps, which they are now 7 laps into. Flip Flip is currently in second. His last lap was a 148.061. Just not 1 second off of Faster. Yeah, we can see now Faster has managed to get himself up to a 3-second lead over Flip Flip. But this man right here, Allochamps, in third. Last lap was a 147.635. Is actually gaining a little ground on Flip Flip. And I believe there is the possibility that Flip Flip may be watching the stream because his pace has increased, as we can see, and that gap is now declining to Faster and increasing from Flip Flip. It really is amazing to watch these drivers compete against each other. They do a great job. All the drivers have so much respect for each other on the track, which is one of the things that I love about GAVRA Racing. Red is currently sitting in fourth. His last lap was a 147.615. He is trying to get that gap closed up to Allochamps, and he is getting it done slowly but surely. Everyone remember, the hare did not win the race, the tortoise did. And right now, Joe Black is probably laughing his ass off at me, calling me the tortoise, and saying that, Jukebox, you know good and well you're the tortoise, and there's no way in hell you're ever going to win. And you're right, Joe. You're right. I know. ID4 in fifth. Last lap was a 149.323. Yes, that was simple numbers, very confusing to me. He is also, his gap is holding strong. Right there, we do have a decent gap between fourth and fifth, but the drivers are managing to keep it closed on up. ESR Chef in sixth. His last lap was a 150.919. K Morse is seventh. His last lap was a 151.378. Agulator is in eighth with his last lap was a 150.216. And we now have K Morse, Agulator, Dr. Fiend, and Chef right here in a battle. So we've got a nice little four-way battle towards the back of the, well, making up about the middle of the grid. Yeah, Flip Flip, Darren, Flip Flip is closing that gap a little at a time. I really did notice as soon as I said something, that gap started declining. He does now have it down to 2.5 seconds. We see it grow every now and then. Oh, now down to 1.92 seconds. All right, so we see it grow a little bit as they go through some of the turns, but the average gap for those two drivers looks like it has came down a full second now within the last lap and a half. So Flip Flip is definitely putting his right foot down. And while this battle goes on, I did get distracted. We've got Dr. Fiend in 9th. His last lap was a 149.978. And yeah, he is really putting the pressure on Agulator still. But they did catch up to the drivers in front of them. So we're keeping a close eye on this battle back here. Hodgker in 10th. His last lap was a 149.834. And Manic UK's last lap was a 152.061. Manic UK is usually very, very fast. We did see him off. He had a little, looked like he had a little trouble at the start, but he's keeping it. He's staying in there though. He's not that far from Hodgker. And when pit stops start playing into this, I believe we're really going to see him make up some great positions. So we're going to have to keep our eye on him. I got a feeling that he's got something up his sleeve for this race. Dr. Fiend still right on top of Agulator. Agulator all over K-Morse. Let's put the camera right here on the middle so we can really get a good view of this three-way battle going here between K-Morse, Agulator, and Dr. Fiend. Oh, as Dr. Fiend just went a little bit too wide though. Amazing job of holding on to that monster Ferrari 33 SP as he did get off on the grass a little bit. Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. I believe I really had a terrible view of what happened. All I saw was, I believe that was K-Morse somehow ended up on the grass. I really wish my camera guy had been in a better position there. I'm not sure at all what happened. Dr. Fiend now right on top of Agulator. This battle's still going on. Oh, it looks like K-Morse has unfortunately picked up some damage. He is going on into the pit. K-Morse is a very smart driver though. He's liable to take huge advantage of that, and I am guessing he will probably go ahead, change tires, and probably take about as much fuel as he could probably carry, and so he can stay out and make up those positions, which I think he could definitely do, considering how early we are in the race, lap 10 of the 51, and he could make up some good positions there because everyone else is still going to have to pit, so it could give him a little bit of an advantage. And like I said, the track is a little cool, the air's a little cool. The drivers are going to have a hard time keeping some heat into their tires as they go down these high-speed straights, and even these high-speed turns don't always hold the heat in the tires like you would think they would, which can make it very difficult to get the grip out of the tires that you want entering the next tight turn. So all the drivers, I'm sure, definitely put a lot of work into their setups to make sure they keep their tires good and warm. And so K-Morse, but anyway, I think my point was K-Morse should come back out of the pit on some really nice warm tires and really let him make up some ground. Dr. Fiend is still right up on top of Agulator. 11 laps into the 51 now. We have 40 laps still to go. K-Morse has got back out of the pit. I really wish we could have had a little bit of a camera view of what had happened in the bottom there. I think that is a great passing place on this track, and it is absolutely terrible that my camera guy wants to be lazy and not walk to the bottom of the hill. Hint, hint, wink, wink, camera guy. Of course, we all know it's digital camera guy. He's not going to move no matter how much I do that. But, like I said earlier, if you know me, you know I am, if anything, cheesy. Ooh, Dr. Fiend has really closed the gap now on Agulator. And we're just going to have to see if he's just going to he may decide to let Agulator just pull him down the track, which would save him a lot of fuel, save him a lot of tire wear, take great advantage of that slipstream, which could pay off in pit strategies later on down the road. Or we could see him really trying to put that right foot down and challenge Agulator for that position. Which one is going to happen, we're going to have to wait and see. Like I said, this is a long race. All these drivers very, very smart. they know this race is not won within the first couple of laps. So they really do have to keep strategy in mind for the whole race. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get really risky here. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that I do not curse Dr. Fiend. And we're gonna see if he minds sliding over just a little bit in his cockpit and allowing a little bit of room for us. And we'll just get us a quick little look here at how he's trying to attack Agulator here. Oh, as you can see, very smooth, very precise brake and throttle application there. Doing a fantastic job, working both at the same time, keeping the car very well balanced. But I'm going to climb back out of his cockpit and climb into Agulator's because I was really close to commentator cursing him. And I'm actually going to go back to the trackside cam too, because I also do not want us weighing down Agulator's car. Agulator, though, see right there, very precise brake and throttle applications. Nice and easy on the throttle on the exit. Little braking gas, help keep the car balanced. Very easy throttle application. Yeah, we can tell Agulator is being very smooth on his accelerator and brake. He's doing a great job there. That is exactly what you want to see out of your brake and throttle inputs. And these cars have a lot of power. It's very easy to make them spin. Even if you're in fourth gear, you're coming around a turn, if you gun it, put your right foot all the way to the floor, there is a very high probability you're gonna spin your car out. So as we can see still with Agulator, right there at the very top, right there when all the boost on these cars, these things have a monster turbo on a very wicked V12 engine, and so the boost can come on very strong on corner exits. So right there at the top of your RPMs, as we can see Agulator doing, it's very important to be very smooth and very easy right at the top of the RPMs. If you just slam it down, the turbo will spool all the way up. It'll give you all your boost at once, and your back tires will break loose, and you will go round. As we now, I saw it for a second there, we've got the leaders closing in on each other. Faster has pulled his lead in front of Flip out, but I believe it is because we have Alochamps closing in on Flip. I believe Alochamps is in a great position to really take advantage of Flip's slipstream there. And make him faster, save him gas, save tire wear. He is in a great spot to be able to make up what little gap there is left. He is right there at the 1 second gap. And we're going to keep an eye on Dr. Fiend and Agulator back here too. Laps in of the 51. I imagine my prediction, which so far in this race have gone horribly wrong, so y'all don't listen to my predictions. We already know they're bad for the day, but I believe we should see some drivers coming in. Our 2 pit stop strategy drivers, I believe, should be pitting around lap 20 to anywhere from 18 to 24, I believe, and we'll see our 1 pit stop strategy drivers pit somewhere around lap 25. And for some reason that math sounds very off. Alochamps is getting himself up there, trying to get himself lined up for a good exit, get a run on his opponent. Yeah, he's really starting to put the pressure on Flip Flip. Let's go back down here to Dr. Fiend and Agulator again real quick. Agulator still keeping Dr. Fiend off. These two have been at it for 14 laps now. They've been at it since the start of the race. And yeah, I'm keeping a very close eye on Alochamps and Flip Flip as well. Still a little bit of a gap. It's slowly closing up. Flip Flip is definitely starting to push the grip level of his tires at the moment, trying to stay in front of Flip Flip. And let's go on back down here. I want to check in on K Morse. Oh yeah. K Morse did about what I thought he would do, because he is a very smart driver. He's planning on making up his laps, just like I said he would. K Morse too. Also, look at that throttle application. Very nice, very smooth. Just a little tap on the brake to help you get the car to rotate. Oh, and K Morse, you can message me after the race on that one. That off track, I will take responsibility for. That was the commentator's curse. So I'm going to leave K Morse alone, so I do not curse him anymore. That could possibly be the second time he got the commentator's curse. Alochamp still right on top of Flip Flip. We could see this battle go for quite some time here. And we're going to just go back here and check in with Dr. Fiend and Alochamps. These two still going at it. You know, I think Dr. Fiend is still waiting for the opportunity to get by Agulator, but it doesn't look like he's necessarily pushing the situation, which will really work out good for him as the race goes on. He just sit right there behind Agulator. If Agulator makes a mistake, he gets the position, and in the meantime, he gets good, clean, consistent laps. Agulator's slipstream will just pull him right on down the track behind him. He'll save a lot of fuel, save a lot on his tires. Flip Flip and Alochamps still. These two are really just pushing each other down the track. Alochamps is trying to catch up to Flip Flip, and the more he's trying to catch up to Flip Flip, the harder Flip Flip is pushing and trying to outrun him. So this is a great battle for second and third right here, though it is really costing them in the gap to Faster in the front, who now has managed to get himself up to a 7.5 second lead, because we have second and third in battle. But, as I've said several times so far in this race, it is a long race. Pit strategies are going to come into it a lot, and we're going to have to see how the top three positions are going to work out after the pit stops play out. And we've got Napu in the chat, also rooting for Flip Flip to catch up. Oh, yep, there we go. We've got Flip Flip going on through the pit. Ooh, he pitted just a little before I thought they might. I had said somewhere around 18 to 24. Again, a big foot in my mouth. I do it to myself, you know. I mean, I set them up, I knock them down, and I do it all to myself. So let's check on Alochamps. Alright, so once again, I'm not going to talk about drivers' fuel levels just yet. I'm going to wait till later in the race when I know all drivers have made a pit stop, as a lot of these drivers do watch the race as they're driving. Something we all know I am not capable of doing. Alright, so we got us a look at Alochamps' fuel level there. So let's go back down here to flip and see what flip has just done. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So yeah, that was definitely a pit stop in his strategy out of flip. And I'm really thinking, even though the tires are going to be a little hard to keep the heat in around this track, I really do think that this track is going to be very, very hard on the tires for the drivers. I expect a very high tire wear. And of course, in GAVRA Racing, we always race with the accelerated tire wear, just to help keep it interesting. So yeah, we accelerated tire wear, a 2 times accelerated time, and random weather slots that are only announced to the drivers 5 minutes before the race. So while we don't have a dynamic weather setting in Project Cars 2, the administrators have worked out a fantastic system several seasons ago. Yeah, I can't talk. And I happen to love it. It works out really good. You never know what kind of weather you're going to have going into the race. You practice and train for it the best you can. But just like real life racing, you never really know what the weather is going to be like when you get to the track on race day. And so it really keeps it interesting. Alright, so we've got ESR Chef and Dr. Fiend going on through the pit. We are in lap 18 of 51, so let's go back up here to the top. We'll do another rundown of the field, and we'll have us a quick look at everyone's fuel levels. Once again, I'm not going to talk about those out loud yet, but that doesn't mean we can't look at them and make our own speculations and wonder what the drivers are going to do and our own predictions. So we do still have Faster in front, now with a 10-second lead over Red, but he is going to have to pit sooner or later, which is going to allow some of the other drivers to catch up a little bit. We have Red in second. And as we can see, their lap times all have been very, very consistent. Like I said, these longer races are very important to keep good, consistent lap times. Yeah, Red's in second. ID4 is currently in third. Agulator is sitting in fourth. Allochamps is in fifth. Yeah, and we can already see some differences in fuel levels, so we can see what kind of little bit of different strategies drivers are going to go for. Flip is in sixth. Manic UK is now in seventh. Hodgker is in 8th. He's in the pit. Oh, yep, we see what he's doing. Dr. Fiend now in 10th. And yeah, see, we have seen a very big grid position change because of pit stop strategies. And we'll see it again later on. So we'll see a few battles here soon, as the drivers start to reel each other in and close up on each other. And then we'll see another round of pit stops, and then as always, towards the end of the race, these drivers are going to get right back up on top of each other, and we'll have some absolutely amazing battles to watch right at the end of the race. So y'all definitely make sure you stick around for that. And rounding out the grid, we have K-Morse, who is, yes, he has definitely been putting his right foot down, trying to make up some time. And he's going to be able to do it, I believe. He'll be able to pull in some laps. As I do believe that is a front runner right behind him. Not quite sure who that is. That could be, yep, oh, that's what I was thinking. It is ID 4 in third. Yep, see, as I said, always great respect from drivers for each other here at GAVRA Racing, as we can see right there. ID 4 knew good and well he just needed to wait for just a moment for them to get around some of the turns, and that K-Morse would move out of his way and let him on by. And of course, as soon as he was able to, K-Morse did so. And it does see, I keep talking about the heat in the tires, and we could see there in the background when K-Morse gets a chance to come down the straightaways, it really looks like he's trying to keep his tires warmed up. I think the drivers are definitely having a hard time with their tires, keeping the heat in them, like I said when the race started, as you know, I thought they might. And of course, as this race progresses, even though the cloud cover is going to go away, the evening is going to go farther on, and the temperatures are actually going to drop a little bit. So despite the fact that they're going to have clear weather towards the end of the race, the track is going to cool off, making it even harder for them to keep temperatures in their tires. Alright, so let's go up here to our leader for a minute. I'm trying to look down the field to see who is the closest together. It looks like Agulator and Allochamps are currently the closest together, right at about a 1.5 second gap from those two. We've got ID4 going on through the pit. Yeah, so at the end of this race, whether you're on a one stop, two stop, and your tire compound and fuel load levels are going to have a massive impact on how you finish in this race. Though I have to admit, pure raw speed, as we are currently seeing out of Faster, who has earned his name. I had the pleasure of covering him several seasons ago in the touring class cars with Fanaballs, and Faster definitely has earned his name. Currently on lap 21 of the 51, 30 laps to go. Not quite halfway through the race. There is still a lot that could happen. Oh, let's get right here on Agulator and Allochamps. These two staying right here on top of each other. Once again, that same camera guy, I don't know what his problem is. Maybe he's just a little too close to the track. When the cars come by, he's having a hard time staying upright. Alright, so we're right now, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at Allochamps' fuel level. We can check that out. Again, I don't want to talk about it, say it out loud, because a lot of the drivers do watch, and I do not want to give any other drivers an unfair advantage over the other drivers by knowing what kind of fuel load they're running and pit stop strategies. And we can have us a look at Agulator's fuel level. But regardless of what fuel levels are, these two are really battling it out. Oh, it looks like Allochamps is going to try to go for a move. Not quite able to get himself into the position. He is all on top of Agulator at the moment. Oh, as Allochamps makes a magnificent move down the inside of this very fast right-hand turn. I have to say, I've tried that in the GT3s, and I just could not manage to get the car to keep enough grip going for that inside move. Alachamp's doing an amazing job there. Agulator, though, right behind him. Still he's keeping the pressure on Alachamp, so Alachamp's is not clear yet. And we now have Flip Flip is catching back up to them. He's on the back of Agulator. How you doing, Pete? It's great to have you in here talking to me. Okay, and Pete says that Agulator finished 3rd last night in the Ginetta. Very good. Yeah, along with Faster, I also had the pleasure of commentating and covering Agulator in the touring cars, and he is really good. He's really fast. But once again, there's not a driver on this grid that isn't. This is the elite class for GAVRA Racing. Excluding just a few of our resident aliens. Pirelli, Sig, Cashnet. There are a few others. We actually have more aliens than I can keep up with and name. But most of those guys are changing over to the iRacing, which once again, if you didn't see the banner at the start of the video, GAVRA Racing has a nice big plans for a iRacing league coming up, so check it out. Sig has a lot of great plans lined up for it, and again, I can't wait to see what his final track layout and car layout are, because I know he's putting a lot of work into it, and it's going to be amazing. The iRacing series at GAVRA Racing is going to be a great leap forward for the community, I believe. As we see Flip Flip going at Agulator here down the straight. Agulator's going to try to take the inside line. He managed to make it stick. That is, for me, it was kind of important to get if you get the inside line right there, it seemed much easier to carry more speed on the inside line than the outside. That was a magnificent pass there. Like I said earlier, this track really favors lining up your opponent through the turn and managing to get a good run on them on the exit. If you try the I don't want to say dive bomb, but if you try those really aggressive down the inside moves on some of these turns, the track layout really doesn't work that well for that type of move. You're liable to find yourself in a lot of trouble. And I'm going to go back here to ESR Shift because he is all over Manic UK at the moment. So yeah, if you try to real aggressive moves down the inside, you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble on this track really quick. But if you can line your opponent up just right to where you get a really good corner exit speed and can get a run on them, you're almost guaranteed to make it by them on whatever straight this track provides. There are so many passing opportunities on this track. Virtually every short straight is a fantastic passing opportunity, and you just have to get up and get in your opponent's slipstream and then take the appropriate line so that you can get a good run on them on the corner exit, and you'll catch up to them, be in their slipstream, and then you just pull right on out around and make an absolutely beautiful pass. And there's not a whole lot they can do to defend it, really. Oh, and Pete says this is the battle that he's been waiting for. Oh, we've got ID4 trying to close up behind him, too. We're fixing to see a little three-way for 6th, 7th, and 8th here, I believe. Yeah, ID4 now within the 1 second range. Oh, the pressure is definitely on Manic UK as we saw one of the tire barriers rolling around. Every time I see those things bouncing down across this track, I have flashbacks of Wreckfest. If you've played it, then you know in Wreckfest it is tires galore flying all over the place. we've got Chef really trying to get Manic UK lined up. As we can see, we're watching him. See, there it is. He's trying to get that good corner exit speed so he can get the run on him, get up in his draft, and make the move. Manic UK really has that right foot down. Chef's trying to get on the inside there. Not quite able to do it. Manic UK, fantastic job of defending there. ID4 is just sitting right there behind him. He's watching it play out. He's going to take advantage of this situation very soon here. Chef's still trying to... Chef is really exploring. He's trying to find that good line to get a run on his opponent. He's going to try to... Oh, not quite able to get in the position to go around the inside there. Like I said, we've seen several drivers manage to get the inside line there, and again, that is highly impressive around this track, something I was not able to do in the GT3s. They just did not have the grip for me to be able to do it. These Ferrari 33 SPs, though, are a totally different monster. I mean, we can see the size of that rear wing. They have massive back tires, massive power, monster V12, monster turbo. These are fantastic cars to drive. Oh, as we now have them all three right on top of each other. Chef is going to try to take it down the inside. Oh, no, he wasn't able to do it, but now he's got himself lined up with ID4. Barely holding on to the position. Oh, great recovery from Chef. Catching back up to Manic UK. He's going to try it again. Oh, Chef has managed to get himself finally in a good position there. Got the run on him in the turn. Managed to make the inside move stick. That was absolutely fantastic. His job, the work he just put in on keeping the pressure on Manic UK did pay off, as we could see. Manic UK now under extreme pressure from ID4. So let's get right back down there to put the camera back to the middle driver so we can keep a great view on this battle. Currently 26 laps into the 51. And again, here at the Brno, it is a wonderful track. The track temperature 83 degrees Fahrenheit, 28 degrees Celsius, air temperature of 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, as I'm running my mouth, we've got to move down the inside. ID4 did manage to make that move stick. That was a fantastic move that I halfway missed because I was running my mouth. I agree, Pete. That was a great job from the Chef right there. And also right here, this move we just saw out of ID4 was very impressive. He really kept the pressure on Manic UK, and I didn't think he was going to get by him there for a while, though. I thought these two would sit behind each other. Oh, there we go. This right here could be have a lot to do with the pass we just saw. It could surely just have been on. This driver right here knew he was going to have to come into the pit, and him and a couple of other drivers always cut it very, very close on fuel. I'm not talking about people's fuel levels, but all I'm going to say is Manic UK just came into the pit with literally 2.2 liters of fuel. If that isn't good fuel management and calculations for a track like this, I don't know what is. We do have one driver that usually comes in with 1 liter of fuel. And I believe, well, actually there's more than one. I believe Marcos is one of our drivers that comes in, usually has it very, very tight. And I believe Mike HLB, who, like as I said earlier, unfortunately suffered a wheel malfunction right before the race. So yeah, I'm sure he is definitely devastated. But anyway, while I'm running my mouth, let's go back up here to the top of the grid. Drivers have got themselves spread out a little bit. Second round of pit stop strategies, and the last, well, I don't know if it's the last or the first of the one pit stop strategy. I guess it stands to reason that it's neither. Yeah, I just really confused the hell out of myself if y'all have not figured that out. So anyway, I'm gonna just act like I didn't. So what I was really talking about was Alochamp's up here in first, and not how I confused myself. We can have a quick look at his fuel level. We don't want to talk about it just yet. I believe we still may see a few more drivers come in for some pit stops. I'm not sure if we've seen the full grid take a pit stop yet or not. I don't believe we have. I believe we have at least one driver out here that has not made a pit stop. But we can have a look there at Alochamp's fuel level. Flip in second. We can compare it to his fuel level, along with Faster in third. Yep, as we can see, pit strategies definitely vary a large amount. And so as we can see from some of these fuel levels, what we think is going to happen towards the end of the race. Yep, Red is in fourth. ESR Chef is currently in fifth. ID4's made his way up into sixth. Yes, definitely seeing some very different pit strategies out of a lot of these drivers. I don't want to talk too much about their fuel loads, but I'm seeing about 3 different fuel load levels across the field right now, which is going to be very interesting towards the end of the race to see how that plays out. Dr. Fiend in 8th. We can have us a look there at his fuel level. Agulator currently in 9th. Have us a quick peek at his. We can get a good general idea of how long the drivers may stay out on the track. Oh yeah, and now K-Morse is now in the chat. I had just looked at the board as I was looking to get down there to you and noticed that we had lost you. K-Morse also has suffered a wheel malfunction. Oh, okay. I'm saying, so basically, every so often, a couple of us have started having some issues where, as K-Morse describes it, the 400% force feedback glitch. Basically, when I was saying it looked like he was trying to keep his tires warm as he was going down the straights, I have suffered this and I know exactly what he means. We will get a really violent oscillation in our wheel, and it will literally snatch us, our car and our wheel, back and forth across the track. It will literally be everything we can do to manage to hold on to the car. And I mean, a couple of us have suffered from that, and we still have not figured out quite what it is, but it does it every so often. K-Morse, I really feel for you there. That is a terrible thing to have to suffer through, but that definitely explains why we saw it look like you were trying to keep your tires warm when you were going down the straight. Literally, you were holding on to your car for dear life, is what was going on to K-Morse there. And if y'all haven't guessed, it does make it, at the severity that K-Morse just got it makes the car absolutely undrivable. Because like I said, it is all you can do to literally hold on to your steering wheel. Yeah, I agree, K-Morse. No, it's, like I said, it's all you can do to hold on to your wheel, and your car is moving around very, very violently on track. It makes it very difficult to try to control. And yes, K-Morse just said in the chat, it made it just too dangerous for him to carry on. He was worried about affecting somebody else's race. And K-Morse, I'm a little concerned that it may have actually broke your arms if you had tried to keep that up. I know I've definitely had my wheel try to break a couple of fingers on several occasions. And yes, anybody watching it, if you're wondering why I just said that, yes, a lot of us, almost all of us, even the lower strength wheels, if they get away from you, they will break fingers and hands and your wrist if you are not careful. Currently still, Alochamp's in the lead, followed by Flip second. Faster in third, red is fourth, ESR fifth, and I'm moving the camera around way too fast. We've got a little ways to go. I don't know why I'm trying to hurry. So let's go back up to the top. We'll actually sit on each driver a little bit and watch them go around the track. And let me look down through the field real quick. Now, faster is about 1.5 seconds from flip, so we will see. And yep, there it is. We saw the indicator go off to say he had popped it within the 1 second range. So we're gonna see a battle out of those two very soon here. Let's go right back down here. Flip currently in second. Faster is really closing in on him. They've got a back marker right there in the amongst of the battle, but we saw our back marker and our front markers both equally showing each driver massive amounts of respect. Flip giving us a little pop of the lights there. Yeah, as always, and once again, always it is fantastic to see the amount of respect the drivers show each other out on track here at GAVRA Racing. It is something that all the drivers and the administrators push for very, very hard. Pete, I've had mine do that as well. Or, well, actually, I'm a bit of a dumb something at times, and for some reason, I decided that I needed to use my controller. And of course, as we all know, once you have project cars fired up, you have to start it with your wheel. And then if you mess up and pick up your controller and do anything with your controller while you have the game on, it will switch to your controller and take the control away from your wheel and will not give it back to your wheel. The buttons on your wheel will work, but as far as steering input and your throttle and brake and all that, it will not work, and you have to do a complete reset. And I have massively embarrassed myself doing that at the start of a race before. And it is not always fun trying to explain to the other 15 drivers who are now waiting on you at the start of the race why they have to wait because you're a complete dumb butt. I would say it as a dumb something, but I am trying to keep it somewhat family friendly. At least into the PG-13 range, you know. Faster in third, still trying to close the gap to Flip. Red is in fourth. Oh, and I'm keeping an eye at the top of the field there, as we can see Faster is steady. Close at getting that gap. It's bouncing in and out of the 1 second range with Flip. I'm going to keep a close eye on that. We're at a little bit of a lull. I'm going to go through, make sure I give all the drivers a little bit of camera time here, and we can watch some of their performance. ID4 is currently sitting in 6th position. Oh yeah, I imagine that was embarrassing there, Pete. Pete just said that he did it while he was actually hosting the race. So that puts you even in more of an embarrassing situation. And I would imagine it actually makes it quite difficult to reset everything, because to fix the issue, you have to literally shut the game down and restart the game. And if you're the host, yeah. I'm sorry, Pete, but I have to laugh with and at you on that one. That is hard. We have Hodgker currently sitting in 7th. And then, just in case y'all didn't hear it, we also have my 150-pound bulldog walking around behind me on a hardwood floor. He gets no grid position though. 8th is Agulator. Yeah, this is the point. The drivers have got a little spread out there, but as we can see on our track map, we've still got that very impressive battle going on between 2nd, which is Flip Flip, and Faster in 3rd. Flip Flip is really trying to keep his right foot down and keep Faster fended off at the moment. And we've got ID4 now starting to close in on ESR Chef. And we also have Manic UK sitting in 9th. Well, it appears Dr. Fiend has gone into the pit. So that could be his last pit stop strategies. We are on lap 33 of the 51, so it's getting the drivers on the 2 pit stop strategy. We're getting at the point where they will be making their last pit stop, and I'm fairly confident all of our 1 pit stop strategy drivers have already came through the pit. And we'll come right back down to Dr. Fiend once he gets out on track, and we'll go around with him for a little bit here. Let's go right here to ID4, who is really putting it down, trying to catch up to ESR Chef. The track definitely is good and rubbered in now. They've got a lot of rubber laid out on the track. They should be able to take advantage of a little bit more grip through the turns. Oh, as we have our leader Allochamps coming in through the pit. He's going to have to get that pit stop done very quickly if he hopes to hold on to that lead in front of Flip Flip. So let's just go up here and check in on these two. Nope, yeah. Okay, so Allochamps' pit stop has now put him down into 3rd. Oh, Red also has came on by. So, yeah. Allochamps definitely, this is his 2nd pit stop. He's going to stay out for the rest of it, but he was definitely, we now know, on the 2 pit stop strategy. Red 15 sitting in a very nice 3rd position there as we look at his fuel level and everything and get an idea of what he's thinking for pit stop strategies. Red started the season a little late and replaced our man Sig. Sig was having a terrible time with his internet at the start of the season, so he resigned and let Red 15 take his spot, and Red 15 really came in and has knocked down a lot of points very quickly in this series. He definitely earned his way into these races. Oh, as we see several drivers now coming through the pit. Faster, though, still right on top of Flip Flip. And I believe my own personal prediction, which so far today has been horribly wrong, I believe this could end up being our final battle for 1st and 2nd. Both drivers are out on the lap together. Oh, no, wait a minute. I may stand corrected there. Still a good battle for position, though. Oh, Flip Flip is... I can't talk about the pit strategies. Let's go down here to Red, currently sitting in 3rd. I believe we're definitely going to see this move here done very soon. Fighting for position. Faster has managed to take the lead. Some drivers towards the back that were a little close, I thought, earlier. No, the last of the pit stops did spread them back out just a little bit. But rest assured, we will see these drivers right back on top of each other as this race gets closer to the end. Currently on lap 36 of the 51 here at Brno in the fantastic Ferrari 33 SP. And make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button, and definitely the little bell for the notification so you can get the notification when we go live which at this point we have live races daily, not Saturday and Sunday. Even the devil needs 2 days off. That's right, 2 days. 2. The whole weekend. We take the whole entire weekend off. But we broadcast a lot of races Monday through Friday, so you have a lot of different chances to catch us live, a lot of options on the races you want to watch, and many different leagues with a wide variety of talent from drivers. So if you like racing, it is impossible to not find a series at GAVRA Racing that you enjoy watching. You are gonna find something you highly enjoy. Laps still to go. Yep, and yeah, and of course, Lennon073 in the chat is also reminding us that Monday starts the McGann, so y'all definitely make sure you tune into that. I will be covering that one myself. I've got a great little show planned for the drivers, and I'm actually really excited to be doing it. It's a couple of drivers that joined GAVRA Racing about the same time as I did, like Randa Lux, King Quinn. There's a few other ones in there. So it's going to be real exciting for me to get to see those drivers back on track, as well as Toby, our F1 commentator. Everybody loves him. He will be racing in that. Cypher Knight, our Friday GT3 commentator, will be racing in that. And if memory serves correct, Cypher Knight is absolutely wicked in the McGann trophy car. So everybody in that race with him, you really need to be careful and watch out for him because, yeah, like I said, he is wicked fast. I believe he won the... I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. But I believe he is the 2-time winner at the Clash of the Clans that we have once a year here at GAVRA Racing. In which they use the McGann car for. It's always a great race to see. But yeah, definitely y'all go to the website and check out the calendar. And after the race, I'll have the standings for all the Project Cars 2 leagues going on up there. On the website, we have all the standings for the F1 series going on at the moment. And I also I have that slideshow set up at the end of the F1 races, which, starting with the McGann, I'm going to go ahead and start combining all this stuff. Okay, and Lennon says, yeah, Duke is his teammate. Yeah, Duke also joined the academy, and we went through the Clio Cup and stuff like that right there with each other. It was really fun. I believe Agulator is racing in it, Pete. I think so. Yeah, like I said earlier, I had the pleasure of covering him several seasons back in the touring class. He's always great to watch and to cover. I looked at the driver roster, and yeah, there's some really good drivers in there. Y'all should have a very tight field. I think it's going to be some amazing races. And let's face it, the McGann Trophy car is absolutely wicked. I'm reading your comment there, Pete. Alright, so let's see how our field sits, and let's have a look at everyone's fuel level as well to see if we have anyone that's still going to come through the pit. And then we can finally, I can open my big mouth and start talking about what kind of fuel load these drivers are carrying. So we're currently sitting with Faster in first. His last lap was a 147.7. And I'm not going to talk about fuel levels till I do an initial all the way down through the grid. I'll cover their times. We'll have a peek at their fuel levels, and then we'll come back and we'll start trying to see if I can make some of my famous foot-in-mouth predictions. Red is sitting in second. Alright, so yeah, we see they are definitely going to be battling it out here shortly. Aloe Champs in third. And sorry, y'all, yeah, Red's last lap was a 147.56. Aloe Champs third. His last lap was a 146.96. Flip Flip is in fourth. His last lap was a 146.89. I believe all those drivers, have came in for their final pit stop strategy. ESR Chef has thrown on the hover conversion for us. He is really going to be making up some time with the hover tires. Will save him a lot of wear on his tires and hopefully a little fuel. His last lap was a 148.05. Just joking about the fuel consumption in the tires there. Every once in a while the cars do suffer from this glitch. Because we can see his car is an easy 1.5 to 2 feet off of the road. But only for us. For him, his car is right there on the track. ID4 in 6th. His last lap was a 148.40. Yep, we have us a little look at his fuel level. I got distracted by ESR Chef's magic car there. And forgot to look at his fuel load. Alright, so all I'm going to say is so far all the drivers have a very comparable fuel load. They're not differing all that much at this point. All we're really seeing is just how differently they took this final fuel load for the end of the race. 39 laps out of the 51 done. Agulator 7th, last lap was a 147.56. We've got Hodgker in 8th, his last lap was a 148.58. We still have not seen any other drivers run as fast as they did during qualifying, which just shows how hard they were pushing their cars during qualifying. But yes, all the drivers appear. Manic UK in 9th, last lap a 150.42. Still comparable fuel levels. And Dr. Fiend is 10th, last lap a 147.4. Dr. Fiend's picking up the pace there a little bit, trying to close that gap on in. Alright, so we can see, Dr. Fiend has got a little bit of damage. That's what's going on with him. You can see his front end definitely has a little front aero damage. These cars are highly dependent on the aerodynamic grip that the wings and front aero kit provide for them. So that is definitely hurting him at the moment. But we are so close to right here at the end, it is always such a very hard decision. Do you pull in, get that little bit fixed for just that little bit of extra lap time, or do you try to push on and get to the end of the race and are okay with a little bit of time coming off of there? Alright, so yeah, everyone is running a very consistent fuel level, so all the drivers are basically in battles for position. Red is in second. He's trying to get that 3.5 second gap closed into Faster, but Faster, he does have that lead. Red has managed to get himself a 8-second lead in front of Aloe Champs. Very impressive driving out of our top 3 leaders at the moment. Flip Flip, I believe, showed incredible pace. I believe the tire wear is what got to him. His fuel level never seemed to be a big issue. It almost seemed to me he may have been going through his tires a little faster than he had planned. He was set up for a fantastic podium finish. He's holding on to 4th guaranteed. We're going to see him pound out some very consistent, clean laps here. He's going to hold on to his 4th position, I believe. Actually, I know he will. I've raced with him a couple of times. He is extremely consistent, and the show he has put on in this car has been phenomenal. but I believe our top 3 runners are going to sit about where they are unless something very dramatic happens in the next 10 laps, which are our last and final 10 laps. So this is where we're going to start seeing a few battles start popping up here on track, and a great example of that is ID4 slowly reeling in Chef. He's getting this gap closed in. Chef's hover tires may be hurting him a little bit there. ID4 is going to try to catch up and see if he can get a move done there. Only barely 2 seconds separating them. Farther down the field, we have not quite a 4 second. We have about a 3.5 second gap between Agulator and Hodgker at the moment. So Hodgker's going to be pushing really hard to get caught up with him. And we can see just how close this little gap actually is. That gap now coming down to right at 2 seconds. Hodgker now within the 1 second range. Let's go back up here. I want to check Agulator. No, Agulator, yeah, a lot of fuel. Alright, yeah, Hodgker is really closing the gap on Agulator very quickly here. So this could be a very interesting battle here for 7th and 8th. And as always, everyone, it has got that time for y'all to start picking out your driver of the day. We're down to the last 9 laps, and if I do get a little quiet and don't talk for a second, I promise or threaten that I am still here. I'm just going to start setting up the podium for our winners to make sure I get that correct. And I will say that if Faster manages to bring this home for the win, which I believe he will, I believe this will be his 3rd first place victory in a row, showing how much he has earned his name of Faster A14. Okay, so okay. Yep, yes, y'all just caught me talking to myself. So y'all just ignore that. You know, I was definitely just not talking to myself. Ooh, and there we go too. ID4's catching up with ESR Chef. Let's take a quick peek in on those 2 drivers. This is going to be a very interesting battle all the way to the finish, I believe. We're getting so close to the end of this race. Action is really starting to heat up a lot towards the back of the field. Hodgker still hanging in and keeping the pressure on Agulator. And yeah, definitely y'all check out who y'all want to vote for driver of the day. I currently am looking and trying to figure that one out myself. I think I am really feeling Hodgker and Agulator. These 2 have been in battles for a lot of the race. I am also feeling, yeah, I know now that I've said it, none of that sounds right, but I'm still doing it. I'm still feeling ID4 as well. He's had a great race and been in a almost non-stop battle the whole time. So for me, I believe I'll have to decide if I'm going to vote for ID4, Agulator, or Hodgker, but y'all definitely let me know in the chat who y'all want to vote for your driver of the day. We are getting down to our last 8 laps of this race. We've got to check in. Oh, no, I moved my cameras too soon as these 2 are really going at it now. Hodgker right on the back of Agulator. Oh, no! Oh! Hodgker did did take a spin there, very detrimental to him right there. He lost a couple of positions. We know he is really mad right now. That is the point in time where almost every driver bangs his hand on his steering wheel, and rightfully so. And oh no, wait a minute. What's happening at the front? Alochamps and Red. Alochamps is trying to get Red reeled in here. They're going to keep me on the edge of my seat and trying to change around this podium last minute, which I absolutely love. Yes, y'all definitely do not make it easy on me. We're going to see some great battles, as promised, all over the grid right here in the last few laps of the race. So we could definitely see a change in position between these two drivers. Alochamps is really putting the pressure on Red. Red is under immense pressure to keep Alochamps fended off. We know he wants to hold on to that second place position with everything he's got. ID4 still massive pressure on Chef. Chef is fighting so hard to hold on to that 5th place position now. Both drivers have had an amazing race down to the last 7 laps of the 51. This is where it all counts. The drivers have gone through the start of the race, the anxiety of getting going, the fatigue of the mid-race, and loss of concentration, and all are now have their second win, really pulling it out for the finish. Oh, Alochamps right on top of Red. This is going to be very close all the way to the finish, everyone. And if y'all can't tell, I'm trying to take me a quick second to grab a swallow of water so I can keep up with these drivers right here at the end. This is going to be absolutely amazing. Down to 5 laps left. Alochamps has the pressure all over Red. The battle for second and third is still very, very strong. Faster has cinched himself into first place unless something drastically goes wrong for him. But he is a very talented driver. I can't imagine anything happening to his first place position. ID4 right on top of ESR Chef. Chef's still doing a great job of keeping ID4 fended off. ID4 really wants that 5th position though. ID4 may want that 5th position more than Alochamps wants that 2nd position from Red. I'm not sure which driver is fighting harder at the moment, Alochamps or ID4. Both are pushing with everything they have. And this is going to be a really close finish between 2nd and 3rd and 5th and 6th. I believe every other driver is safe at the moment except for these 4. Go back down here to ID4 and Chef. ID4 still not quite able to get himself up alongside Chef to get a move done. ID4 is definitely in Chef's slipstream though and able to take advantage of it. Though because of the massive aero downforce on these cars are also highly susceptible to dirty air, which can really screw up your corner entry. Alochamp still trying to get himself up alongside Red, not quite able to do it yet. We're seeing this gap very close. He's almost in the right position. Oh, he has managed to put the pressure on Red 15 and take that 2nd position from him. Piling the pressure on Red definitely worked there, because we could see that red did just go a little too deep into that turn. Fantastic move from both drivers. And I have to be quiet a second so I can fix our podium to reflect the current situation. And you were completely right there, Pete. Alochamps managed to get the pressure on him and get that position very nicely. And since we're right here at the end, I'm going to get ready to go ahead and put the Driver of the Day's graphics in place. So if y'all want to go ahead and give me y'all's vote, I believe I'm going to vote for our host of the race. He's had a very impressive race and been in some tight battles the whole time. Ooh, Pete Bibbs voting for Alochamps. I am going to vote for ID4, but as always, the viewers override me. So Pete, if it's only me and you voting, it'll be Alochamps. If we get somebody else in here, we'll have to see. Oh, and K-Morse is voting for Flip Flip. Alright, so we've got a little bit of a, me excluded, y'all have a tie between Alochamps and Flip Flip. And K-Morse, just to let you know, you could have voted for yourself. ID4, though, still has the pressure right there on him. Not quite. It's getting right here towards the end of the race. No, he really doesn't, K-Morse. Flip Flip never does disappoint on track. I've had the few rare battles with him in the GT3 race, and they've been absolutely amazing. All I'm gonna say is, after the race was over, I had one race particular, I had Flip Flip right behind me for, I believe, about 10 laps. And after the race was over, I threw that pair of underwear away. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Laps left out of our 51, so let's go up here. Unless a battle pops up, we're going to stay up here with our leader faster, because he definitely deserves it. Yeah, Faster definitely deserves to have the camera on him for the last couple of laps, unless we see a battle pop up somewhere. But it really looks like, from the timings there, Alochamps and Red really had a separation of time there. I'm thinking Alochamps, with his 2 pit stop strategy, took on a fresh set of tires, and it just gave him a lot more grip here at the end of the race than Red. But Red has had an absolutely amazing race. So yeah, everybody in the chat, real quick, you got about 2 laps. Y'all fight it out amongst yourselves and tell me who the driver of the day is. Because, yeah, so far we've got a vote for Alochamps, Flip Flip, and we're going to ignore mine for ID4 to help keep things simple. Yeah, like I said, Faster has definitely earned to get the last little bit of camera time here. I am looking down the field. some of the drivers are very, very close. We can see ESR Chef and ID4. Let's pop back there real quick because they still are within about a second and a half of each other. It is possible to see a last moment pass out of these two, but I think with it being right here so close to the end of the race, neither driver wants to push too terrible hard. If you push a little too hard right now, you could definitely find yourself going from 5th or 6th all the way to the back of the pack. If you push a little too hard, but of course, as always, if the driver in front of you leaves the door open and gives you the opportunity, we always go for it. So let's get back up here to our leader Faster. He is on lap 50 of the 51. A very impressive lead over Alochamps as well at the moment. A 9-second gap there. His pit strategy worked very, very well for him on this track. Alright, so this is how we'll decide the driver of the day then, everybody watching. K-Morse is one of the drivers in this league, so we will give his vote just a little precedence over the other ones, and hopefully, I think to me that seems kind of fair enough, and it does put a little bit more emphasis on one of the drivers that are actually in the race with these drivers. It makes their vote count just a little bit more, so I think they kind of deserve for theirs to count just a little bit more. But if y'all disagree, let me know. But if not, I'm going to go with K-Morse and most likely give it to Flip Flip at the end. Faster now on our last lap, 51 of the 51, the GAVRA Racing Ferrari 33 SP. These drivers have drove their ass off all night. We've seen some amazing battles, some great runs on each other, fantastic passes. We've seen a few magnificent spins. This has all the way around been a fantastic race for all the drivers. Unfortunately, except for K-Morse, who unfortunately suffered a massive wheel malfunction along with Mike HLB, which I really hope he manages to get his fixed. And there is our leader Faster across the line. He's giving us a big flash of the lights. We know he's happy, and he should be. He is very happy. Let's catch Flip Flip coming across the line. There is our second place podium winner, Alochamps, across the line. Red, where are you at? He's coming up the hill. He'll get ready to make the last turn in just a second. Make sure we catch all of our drivers, our podium leaders, coming across the line here. Oh, thank you, Pete. Yeah, so, yeah, and we will end up naming Flip Flip for our driver of the day, but I guess I kind of spoiling the surprise and announcing it before we actually get to that part of the race, didn't I? There is our third. Oh, massive show right there. You know he was ready to have the race done and have himself a little fun. Flip Flip is in 4th. ESR Chef and ID4 actually may still be battling it out. The clock may not run down before they get across the line, so this could possibly still be a battle that is going on. I have to admit, it can get very confusing right here at the end sometimes. But they are very close. They should get the opportunity to come on across the line. ID4 really closed that gap up there to ESR Chef. 35 seconds left. Yeah, they should get across the line there. Chef across the line, giving us a brilliant flash. ID4 across the line as well. And that was it. That was our race. There we go. All right, so we have Faster, amazing win. Alochamps in 2nd. Red 15 with a great 3rd. Flip Flip 4th. ESR Chef held on to that 5th place position. ID4 tried to take it, but he ended up in 6th. Agulator in 7th. Hodger was battling right there at the end with Manic UK for 8th and 9th, and Dr. Fiend was 10th, and K-Morse, you still got 11th. And here we are. Here is our podium. And of course, as I just said, Faster definitely deserved that first place win. Aloe Champs with our second, Red 15 in third, and we all agreed that Flip Flip, hands down, deserved driver of the day. I have to say, everybody, that was an amazing race to watch. Always love watching all these drivers go at it. They never disappoint. It's always a fantastic show. We see great passes, great crashes, and massive respect from one driver to the other. Yes, he did, K-Morse, right there at the end. Flip Flip almost had it right there at the end. It would have been close. It would have been. It was really close. I actually really was not expecting to see that pass from Aloe Champs and Red towards the end. I really thought Red was going to manage to keep him fended off, but he went just a little too deep into that one turn. Aloe Champs had the pressure on him, and it clearly paid off, and it caused Red to make just such a tiny mistake. I believe that was probably only about a 1/10 of a second mistake, and you know, Aloe Champs just took it and ran away with second place. Thank you so much, Pete, and I appreciate y'all showing up and keeping me company in the chat as always. Everybody else watching, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. All the links for everything are in the description below. There's a link for the GAVRA Racing Discord channel. There's a link to the website, which, again, go check it out. GAVRA has been adding so much stuff to it. It really is a great website. Tons of information on there, and at the end of one of these days, one of these races, I'm going to torture all of y'all and give y'all a complete tour. Well, not a complete tour. There's so much information. I would spend hours trying to give y'all a complete tour, but I'm going to pull the website up here on one of these races at the end, and we're going to look through it, and I'll show y'all all the stuff on the website, because he really does do an amazing job. All the administrators at GAVRA Racing and all of our hosts, our independent league host and administrators and everything, do a fantastic job of organizing all the races for all of us to watch and participate in. I mean, hands down, there is not another community I'd rather be a member of. It really is a great community, good community feeling. Check us out. Yeah, my brain just kind of fell out of my ear. For some reason, I started to look for Toby to close us out because I was rambling once more. Thank you so much, K-Morse. I appreciate it. So yeah, everybody, you know, go to the website, go to the Discord, check us out. Hit the like and subscribe button, and definitely the bell, so you make sure you get the notifications when we go live, which is now every 5 days a week with multiple races on several days. And yeah, huge thanks to y'all for watching. Huge thanks to the administrators at GAVRA Racing, and most of all to Gavranovic himself, who puts in a lot of work at keeping all of this stuff straight for all of us. So I have been Jukebox, and if you can't tell, the sun's down, and you don't have to go home, but you can't stay on my stream any longer. Oh, wait, take that back. Y'all stay on here for just a little longer so y'all can check out the end standings. And I'll go ahead and get those up for y'all now so y'all can get a quick look at the rest of those standings. But yeah, the sun's down. After the standings slideshow is done, then y'all can't stay in my stream anymore because we're done. It's over, and it's time for everybody to leave. Thank y'all, and good night, and definitely check out the standings, everybody. Quick additional note, I just saw in the chat that Kmore said that he thinks Red's tires were completely cooked there at the end of the race, and I think they probably definitely were. So, yeah. And if you can't tell, I have no idea how to close shows. Good night.